Welcome to Hypnosis Health Info. I'm Roger Moore. Just had a Slender for Life weight loss client leave my Bainbridge Island office here, and this is a client that's down over 40 pounds. She's been doing really well, but in her session today she was sharing how she was still struggling with one particular food, and it wasn't that she was even eating it or really wanted to eat it, but it was still a desire. It was something that she thought of and almost craved, although when she thought about eating it, she didn't really want it, and that was chicken and dumplings. And again, she said the thought of eating boiled chicken just didn't really do much for her, the grease and the fat, and yet it was still something that the thought was there. And so I asked her, well, just what does chicken and dumplings represent to you? And we talked about how as a little kid, my grandmother and I, we'd make cinnamon rolls, and it was a time of unconditional love and unconditional acceptance for me. And I said, even to this day, the smell of a cinnamon roll just brings back all that love, all that unconditional love, unconditional acceptance. And she started talking about how, as a little girl, every Sunday after church, her family would gather at Grandma's house. And there'd be like 15, 16 different people there. There'd be aunts and uncles and cousins, and the whole family would come together to commune. It was a time of laughter. It was a time of great chatter. It was a time of sharing, and the whole family came together and broke bread together and shared their love and joy for each other, and she longed for those times. Now here she is today, here in Bainbridge Island. Her own kids have grown. She has no other family members around here. This isn't where she grew up. She grew up in the Midwest. And she longs for those times of family coming together and having that love and that communion and the chatter and all the great feelings that went with that. And to realize that chicken and dumplings, that's what it really represented. It wasn't so much that she wanted the chicken and dumplings. What she was really longing for was that family gathering. And so we talked about a section from my book, Becoming Slender for Life, and I'm just going to read a small paragraph here to you. It's called Food Really is a Metaphor. Janice, a 58-year-old artist, was amazed at what she learned about symbolic eating. My #1 indulgent meal has always been a burger and fries. When I tried to figure out what they symbolized to me, I suddenly remembered that when I was 7 years old and allowed to walk by myself to a neighborhood burger stand, that was where I spent my first ever allowance. We never had French fries at home, and rarely even burgers, so both were real treats. And I associated them with my initial steps of independence. Ordering a burger and fries was my first taste of freedom. No parent was around to tell me I couldn't have this meal. And I now realize that even though I've eaten many thousands of burgers with the ever-ready fries, each time there was also an extra jolt of joy attached because I was subconsciously celebrating my independence. As an adult, I really don't need to do that anymore. So I can imagine releasing that food craving now that it's been drained of importance. So what does food symbolize to you? And what I would encourage you to do, and this again is an exercise from my book, Becoming Slender for Life, is list all your downfall foods, ones you know or suspect are bad for you. Then write about each one. Key into the olfactory memories, the smells, which are our strongest. Tell the food's history in your life, its role in your life, when and where you first ate it, who you were with, and so on. See what each food symbolizes to you. Comfort, independence, feeling special, unconditional love. Or a variation would be to write your life story with food, your earliest memories about food, and ask your parents what they recall about your eating habits as a young child. What things you liked or disliked. And then after doing that, and examining what associations you've made long ago with your favorite comfort foods, see if you can't separate them from the foods themselves. Perhaps you connect fried chicken to many family picnics, and those were the rare exceptions when your father seemed to relax around you. And now instead of driving through KFC whenever you miss your dad, give him a call or talk about him with a family member or enjoy old pictures. Eating fried chicken won't recreate these good feelings. In fact, quite the opposite. It boils down to gaining awareness about why you crave what you do, so you can diffuse the power that food has held over you. And that really is what it's all about, is taking back your power, the power that you gave away to food, the people you gave away to people, to life, to events, to the economy, to stress, to work, to circumstances, whatever it might be, but taking back your power. And if you've looked at anything here at Hypnosis Health Info, read any of my posts, looked at any of the videos, you know that I talk a lot about using self-hypnosis, and I consider hypnosis to truly be about taking back your power, putting yourself back in control of you. And here at Hypnosis Health Info, if you go to self-hypnosis, you're going to see tabs that drop down on the light switch self-hypnosis technique, written suggestions, power minutes, and then a whole list of suggestions that you can use. You're also going to look around and you'll find information about my book, Becoming Slender for Life, and how it offers you the tools and resources that allow you to take back the power you gave away to food and putting you in control, and how to eat healthy, the importance of exercise, and how to disconnect the emotional connections that you've had with food. And you know, if you're here in the Puget Sound area, I have an office in downtown Seattle in the Medical Dental Building, or here in Bainbridge Island, give me a call, 206-903-1232. And if you live outside the Puget Sound area, then send me an email, roger@hypnosishealthinfo.com. And wherever you are, we can set up a long-distance telephone and internet-based program to support you in letting go of your excess weight and disconnecting those emotional connections that you've had with food and putting you back in control. Learning how to create those emotions without trying to do it with food. So give me a call or send me an email and let me know how to support you. I'm Roger Moore, and this is Hypnosis Health Info.